Well, friends, a very good afternoon and a little bit awakening from our sleepy afternoon after heavy lunch maybe for some of them. Can I have the first slide, please? You need a little time. So as they are preparing today's topic, what I thought when the TED organizers came to me and asked me to give a guest talk, as a doctor, if I just speak on a medical topic, it will be very dull and drab. And perhaps what I thought is to put where in the cosmos, as a simple doctor in a small place like Kakinada, in this universe, as a dot, where can I put myself? And how is my focus? And several others in various professions. How is focus helping us in taking forward the essence of human life? That takes us to the next 17 minutes of my talk. Can I have the next slide, please? So today's paper, quickly let us go through some 3 or 4 papers of the day. On the one hand, we have the country's head making an inauguration for a new world age capital. Just by the side of it, there is a farmer whose crop is burnt, whose land is taken away. On the one side, we have man rapes miner, throws her into fire after touching lives. On the other side, there is a woman ending life. Next. Another debt trap farmer commits suicide. In this mechanized world, we have less concern for agriculture and farmers, less concern for biology, least concern for psychology. Next, please. We have an Audi advertisement this morning in the Hindu paper. 45 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs car. Of course, I do have one of the top-end cars, but this is the dichotomy in the society. Next, please. And across the continents, in Europe, this catastrophe is happening. People from Croatia, Slovenia, Turkey, all these places, they are going towards Hungary, towards Germany, only to find that the fences are there, their entry is barred. Next, please. Then where does it take us? In these random happenings across the world, we have some of the things to think. Focus in life, focus in what we are doing. And then, of course, a father. Father is only a descriptive term here. It may be your legacy, it may be your mentor, it may be your role model, whatever it is. And then, of course, books. It can be a simple teacher in a persona teaching you, or it can be a book which acts as a little good guide for you for your entire life. Next, please. And can we just go back to the earlier slide? Yeah, we have our principles which are our roots in our knowledge, in our mind and heart. And of course, these principles should dictate what mission statement, what we are going to make ourselves for the life. And that mission should really blossom into the roles as a doctor, as an engineer, as an auditor, as a professional, as a software guy, as a businessman, whatever you call. We can blossom into that. Then, this is Anton Fauci. You can see on the 3 consecutive editions of Harrison's Principles of Medicine, Anton Fauci has been the chief editor of this. Next, please. And you can see Barry Sinosi in 2008 for the discovery of the HIV virus. She was awarded the Medicine Nobel Prize. Next, please. And our work takes us to places. I had the good fortune of talking to these 2 great personalities, meeting these people over and over again at the global stage. Next, please. And talking about books as your teachers, my pick is Alchemist. Right from your 10th year, whether you are 60 or 70 years, this is the book that takes you through your dream journey, how to realize your dreams in your life, how to take forward your dream. If only you can dream, in the late President Abdul Kalam's words, you can realize those dreams sometime. So people who have dreams can only realize. And this book is such a thing about a wonderful dream. And last lecture by Randy Pausch is a must read for everyone, because Randy Pausch was diagnosed with a pancreatic cancer and was told by the doctors that he has got just 1 year to live, has lived that 1 year much more fruitfully. He allowed the doctors to do a complex operation on him. Then he survived for 1 year. Then for posterity, he has documented many things, including for us, this book. Next, please. And truly, as the subtitle of this book goes, An Old Man, a Young Man and Life's Greatest Lessons, Mish Album, the student of Modi, has written this book beautifully well, and it tells us all about, it's a retro view of the life. If you are a 60, 70-year-old guy and you are about to die, if you take a look back at the life, what would you do to make it a better part of life? Better things, better contribution to the world. Next, please. So, these are the foundations on which my role as a HIV physician, the society has evolved, and I describe myself as a curious doctor. And curiosity, it is said, is the cornerstone of all science. And is statistics dull and drab all the time? We look down on statistics as medical students, as engineering students, as general people. When in 10th class our maths teacher teaches us mean, mode, and median, we don't very much like the class. Next, please. Our work is our focus. This poor man, like one of those indebted farmers committing a suicide, this poor man has committed a small mistake in his life of having sex with an unknown lady, and he was stuck with HIV. Then what happened? He was exploited by qualified doctors as well as quacks, and this man, poor man of 4 acres owner, became a pauper because of his disease. And this was the photograph taken with him about 15-20 years ago when he came to my clinic. I treated him free of cost in the last 2 years of his life. One day I received a call on my landline, because those times these mobiles were not there. He said in a feeble voice, "Doctor, I am dying. Before I die, I want to come to you and see you personally, because you have treated me free of cost over the last 2 years." I said, "Come to my clinic. What prevents you?" He said, "I am penniless. I don't have money to travel. My body doesn't permit me to get into a bus." I said, "You take a cab and come, I'll pay for the cab." True, he came in a cab. This is the shirt he was wearing, the best part of his dress, what he was wearing. He told me one thing: this poor farmer, who is not educated unlike you and me, I didn't quite realize the value of life. Let me die, but before I die, if you can make good use with my body in any way, please use me. Because at that point, I had tears welling in my eyes. I hugged this gentleman, then took this photograph with him. So whenever I go and give a guest talk, whether on HIV viral resistance or HIV or any other medical matter, I take this man with me, and whenever I narrate the story of this simple man in the midst of our society, my hairs get erect and I get goosebumps. Friends, this is the focus we all need to have. Focus in our work, day-to-day work. Next, please. And this is a pretty common sight in our midst. Everyday traffic jams, hassles, somebody in a neat tie and suit comes in the wrong way and blocks your way. Next, please. So you have these options. How many of us will quit? Is the normal position. I don't want to go to the office. I'm in a traffic jam, I can't come. How many can raise? Hands go up. How many will quit? Nobody will quit, just one person. How many will take a detour, take a turnaround, find a bypass road? Maybe about 10, 20, 10, 15. Next, please. Next. How many want to fix the problem and go forward? Relieve the traffic jam and go forward. How many have tried it? Maybe about 10, 20. Then, how many will do nothing, sit behind your steering or handlebar and sit just like that? Enjoy the traffic jam and listen to the favorite music or TEDxJNTUK lecture. So, we have all these options. This is what the great constitutional expert Nani Palkhiwala has said. We Indians are a low arousal people. We endure injustice and unfairness with feudalistic servility and fatalistic resignation. The poor of India endure inhuman conditions which would lead to a bloody revolution in any other country. This what? Show your left cheek if somebody slaps on your right cheek. Maybe the Mahatma days, those are right. But these are the days to stand upright against injustice. And the rich endure foolish laws and maddening amendments which benefit none, except the legal and accountancy professions, and instinctively prefer to circumvent the law than to fight for its repeal. We are seeing it day in and day out. Next, please. So, the virgin path and the beaten track. If you don't leave the safety of the shore, you will miss the treasures on the ocean floor. Like great Newton said, that I am like a small child picking up pebbles and shells on the seashore when pearls are at the ocean floor. This is what Newton said. So, it is like that. We need to have our own track and leave the beaten track. Next, please. So, in this background of ignorance about HIV, denial of HIV, nobody would accept that he has gone to a girl or outside call girl and then got the disease. And there are lack of tools, lack of testing parameters here, and there is no information in the country. And more than anything, the society has taught me more in life. How a father treats his HIV positive child, how a husband treats his wife, how a wife treats her husband, how the rest of the family members treat the patient, how the society treats, how in front of a dying patient we are all crazy about taking away bits and pieces of his property. if only this died. We have no interest in that man living. We have interest in that man dying. All these facets of life, friends, I have seen serving my 13,000 HIV positive patients. Next, please. So once again, it is a focus that teaches. It is Rudyard Kipling who said this, that why, what, when, where, how. These are my 5 best friends. These are my 5 best friends. So this kind of curiosity, when I first went to a meeting in 91 in Patna, then I realized that if Mumbai is to have 20 cases, Kakinada should at least have 1 case. Let me find out that case. That started my journey in HIV in 1992. And that's in following a systematic method of record keeping. Today, I am one of the few doctors in the country who has single-handedly treated or supervised the treatment of so many thousands of HIV positive patients and methodically recorded all the things. And then, HIV is not the only thing. There is a disease burden in the country. Disease burden with no lasting or curative therapy. Cancer. In this, within brackets, I have given an area of focus for us for the future. Today, we are talking about gene-based therapy for cancer therapy. Just now, Dr. Gopalakrishna has showed us how the future of technology is going to be. Like that, we have, if you only know what is the genetic parameter, what amino acid sequence is there in the codons and genes of the person, in the chromosomes, then you can seriously focus that gene and cure the cancer. Then, of course, malaria. You are reading about deaths about cerebral malaria in our country. Why don't we do something about a vaccine? It's a non-medical doctor, Kalam, who has asked us to produce a malaria vaccine, not a medical doctor in this country. And then, of course, dengue. People are waxing, people are fighting, people are killing doctors, slapping doctors when a dengue patient dies. But whoever is thinking about the vector or the virus, why can't we have a dengue vaccine? Why can't we kill the vector, that the mosquito for dengue? That's a more fundamental question. And then filaria. We are in an endemic district for filaria. It is classified as a neglected disease by the WHO because it's there only in a handful of countries. Few millions of patients are there. The advanced countries have no interest in new research because these patients can't pay them big money. And it is Yellapredda Subbarao, a Telugu man, who has discovered the diethyl carbamazine or hetrazan, the one tablet that is there as a cure for filaria. Then The Economist in October, this is the magazine cover, it was talking about kill 7 diseases, save 1.2 million lives every year. So Economist realizes that the health of public is an important factor in the economy of the world. Next, please. Then, living our roles versus acting the role. We live as a parent, as a student, as a professional, as an executive, so on and so forth. But how many of us are acting the role and truly living the role? Can we focus on that acting the role? Can we focus on the acting the role, please? Yeah. New medicines, new surgeries, new techniques, new gadgets. Just this morning, a doctor colleague was telling me that a very rich person weighing 150 kilograms has undergone a bariatric surgery, which people are advising from hilltops, from rooftops. And that guy died a hapless death in Kakinada a few weeks ago after a bariatric surgery. What are the ills of this? Taking you back by a few decades. In 1940s, post-World War, there is industrialization, industrial revolution in the world. And then the entire European countries have shifted from brown bread to white bread. And that has resulted in colonic carcinoma, which the medical fraternity has discovered by late 70s. Good 30 years were over. Why is this colonic carcinoma happening inside the stomach? Yes, in 40s we have shifted from brown bread to white bread. Today people are talking about dietary fiber. We are all talking about eating fiber and sprouts and other things. So medical fraternity doesn't have all the answers. We can't just do things like that. We need to apply our mind. So acting the role is not the right. We should live the role. Next, please. The choice is ours. Next, please. So science has branched out into technology, in robotics, in digital science, in animal science, in veterinary science, in medicine, various branches of medicine, so on and so forth. Now, for long, there has been so much analysis. There's nobody to synthesize all these branches of medicine. All these branches have to come into one brain. Who is going to do that? Then, world is full of opportunities and challenges. Society, there are so many ills, there are so many remedies. We need to focus on all these things. Can we have to the middle part of the slide, please? Science and mythology, science and logic, science and humanity. We today say that that's all a myth, that's all mythology. We don't believe all that. Tomorrow a generation is going to come. Next slide, please. A generation is going to come and say that there used to be scientific people who used to depend on proof, reproducibility, experiment, so on and so forth, visibility, measurability. That religion was called science. 2,000 years later, a new religion will call science a religion and a mythology and a myth. Friends, in Ram Gopal Varma's last scene in one of the pictures, next please. One of the scenes, Om Puri, the actor, shows the light, says, what is beyond that? Tree, house, window, beyond that? No, there is nothing. Don't say nothing. I don't know. So science is like a torch. It only shows this length. I am in the limelight here. You don't see what is beyond this wall. So our science limits our view. We have to go beyond the science sometimes. Then of course today's world, the virtual world we are all living, the gadget-filled world, the metaphysical and paranormal. Sometimes I want to call my friend. Exactly at the time my friend is calling me. How is it? Is it telepathy? Is it paranormal? The real world. The real world is the world in which we need to show our purpose. Next please. How many minutes I have more? So this is the globalized world, information versus knowledge. We have lots of information and very little bit of knowledge. And it's all Vasudhaika Kutumbam. Next please. Vasudhaika Kutumbam reminds me, today October 24th is the United Nations Day. All the nations are same, apparently we say. But is it really? Quite not. Next please. So, fast-paced work, outsource. We are outsourcing security. We are outsourcing catering. We are outsourcing something. Online is equal to offline. How many of you have recently received a book on Flipkart on the second day, third day? It was the case 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Now you take a full week, 10 days. Online has to become offline one day or other. Then man, machine, man. Next please. Yesterday, this beautiful picture was there. God must be crazy. These people have received that bottle, and that bottle has set up a war within the tribe because they never saw something like a bomb. Today, that's a gadget. That's our smartphone. That's our gadget. So that's making us lose our brains. Next please. So this picture 30, 40 years ago beautifully demonstrated how life without machines and gadgets is a happier one. Next please. So candle and dementia. Candle, sustained work, visibility, and form versus function. Next please. So candle gives a light where it is in a focused way. A meteor goes, lights the entire world around it, but it's gone. It doesn't serve a purpose. Next please. So Bill Gates is a businessman. Next please. You can fly through this. He's a businessman. Microsoft footprint is there everywhere. Then he's a billionaire for excellence. Icon of computer science. Do we really need a new definition for Windows? We all know what is a window now. Earlier, window definition is different. Then example for socialism. Gates Foundation is there. He's doing work on vaccines, hunger and poverty, education, collaboration. 1 minute. I'm going to wind up. Next, please. So, I was fortunate to be in this meeting where Gates and Clinton have addressed. Both of them are doing wonderful work on vaccines. Next, please. So, he's called a capitalist tycoon. Next, please. You can fly. So, he's called a philosopher and statesman by the people who are working with their socialist work. Next, please. So, Gandhi told us about core values and 7 sins. Medicine Sans Frontiers is about positive action in healthcare. Ramindranath of West Godavari district recently awarded as the humanitarian person representative for sports in these grounds by the Chief Minister of AP. Somasundaram, the librarian in Tamil Nadu, you all received messages on the WhatsApp. He was honored by the US government, a simple librarian. Ubuntu, the African tribe. Next, please. These are the 7 sins. Next, please. So this is the Ubuntu clinic in South Africa where MSF, Medicine Sans Frontiers, which got the Nobel Prize, is doing wonderful work. Next, please. So, how does this matter to us? One for all for one. Gadgets are true tools and never a replacement to our grey matter. All branches of knowledge are complementary and cohesive in the doctrine of holistic approach. We need to develop the doctrine of holistic approach in our professions. Next, please. How does it matter to us? Our present work. Let us all do a focused work, dedicated to that. Give the adequate time and attention that is needed to the work. Not driving a mobile, not driving a car or scooter with a mobile stuck to our ears. Then have the focus. Synthesize all the ideas and all branches of science. And let us live a life of harmony. Let us give the next person our seat in the queue. Next, please. Then how does this matter? Let us absorb technology. Think laterally. Go beyond the horizons. What X can do in New York, we can do in 10 to UK. This is what I firmly believe. Nobody is born with 4 ears and 4 eyes. We all have great things. What is required is our own intuitive skills, our own honing our skills. And of course, friends, Whatever we do, like the traffic jam, outwardly appearing to be attached, but inwardly detached, inwardly cool, but outwardly full of fervor. Work joyously in this world, O Rama. This is what Yoga Vasishtha told Sri Rama in the Yoga Vasishtha in subtext of Ramayana. I give my big thanks to the TED organizers and all of you for a very patient hearing. Thank you all.